Well, it's Saturday. Sorry. It's an ASMR video. Yum, 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 yum. That's a joke. Oh, wow. What a January, eh? So many. I mean, last year was intense. Damn. But intense but necessary. I don't regret it. I was speaking to my uncle earlier. I was saying how we're like psychologically governed by the clock. We're always living in numbers. How old am I? How many years do I have left? How many kids? How much money? How much money can I make? In what period of time? When do I get a pension? This, that. What time do I need to go to work? What time do I need to go to this meeting? It's just one time after the other. And time dominates the human psyche because we let it. It's part of our culture. Like December, most people are like working, at jobs or whatever. So they can't wait for the year to end. And it's like holiday, festive time in December, but that's just kind of weird. It's never as fun as it should be because it almost feels like pressured and rushed. Before January, New Year's, and the people gotta go straight back to work or whatever. And January is such a weird month because everyone's like in this other mentality, of like New Year's resolutions, or I gotta do this, I gotta do that. I gotta make this happen, this will want to make this happen this year. And we always feel like this emptiness inside. It's like we're judging ourselves so much. And we feel this emptiness because it's like, oh, January. So much stress, money, So that's the usual cycle. And I find it weird that we're like, why are we living on this clock? This clock is like weird. Like we wait, it's just weird. It's like we're literally running on a fucking clock. It's insane. Like at this time, do this and feel that and blah, blah, blah. And at this time, do this and feel that. Although I will say one thing, like the energies of each month are changing. Like this January energy just felt like it's just dragged on. But, it's just also flown past. But I believe I believe it's been super slow, to be honest with you. And everyone's in this mood and everyone's a bit stressed out and a bit panicked. And we just made it near the end of the month. And you sort of just have to remember, like, dude, you've always been fine, or dude or girl, or whatever. You've always been fine. It's always been good. January gets a little stressful. It's okay. You'll make it through. And I think what's happening maybe is we're becoming more masterful with our emotions as a collective here on Earth. It's like, don't let the clock rule you, Don't let the clock get in the way of you living life. Because before there was ever a clock, there was just life. And, but at the same time, you've got this other energy, which is like this other super mystical, powerful energy that I'm sure a lot of people are feeling, like this intense change or like something about to happen. So at the same time, it's like everyone's also in like this limbo of like not knowing what to expect, but also feeling something's going to happen, etc., so forth and so on. I know things are going to happen. I know what's going to happen, but I will say this, that don't worry. There's no need to worry. Like if you worry, you're just going to drain your own energy. You're going to live in fear. You're going to make choices and decisions from a fearful state of mind. Those choices and decisions are never accurate. Neither are the assumptions that come with them. And you have to relax, because if you're not relaxed and you're not like becoming centered with God and your spirit and the silence within you and taking those times to breathe, then you're going to work yourself up way too much, way more than you need to be. I mean, look, granted, stress can be useful, can be helpful, like in the other video I shared. But at the same time, like, too much stress is just, I mean, it's not stress for the wrong reasons, you know, like unnecessary stress is unnecessary. You don't need it. It's just gonna drain you, drag you, pull your life force out of you. It's gonna lull you. So, you know, this is where you gotta be positive. You gotta be hopeful, like, no matter what. Like, no matter what. Because some people might say, oh, well, you know, just being hopeful or whatever, a bit of nonsense. No, like, God works. Like, pray to God. God looks after you. God gives you what you need and where you need to be at the exact same time. And it's also all dependent on you, where you want to go, what you want to do. Like, don't give up on your dreams, you know? Just make sure your dreams are in alignment with your soul and your spirit. I believe in one way or another, those dreams may evolve, and whichever destination it is you dream to get to, you will get there. But most importantly, what we need to focus on, I suppose, is like our own healing, our own ability to manage our emotions and not get too negative and hyper-focused and worked up on things that just drain our energy. And we need to learn to look at these things a bit differently so that we can deal with the trauma and relate to whatever trauma differently, you know, and move on and heal, because it's very important that we all heal. And we all go inside and we find that soft, safe space within us that God's given each of us as secret tabernacle of His heart. And that's a great resting place for you to be in. If you can ensure that you keep going back to those resting zones, you will ensure that your overall energy and your psychological thought process is not super duper erratic, and you're not making all these mistakes and trying to rush around, make things happen that really shouldn't be made to happen. Like, they don't really totally align with your spirit or your soul or with your like true happiness. So, you know, that's what happens when we rush things and we like sort of judge ourselves too much and judge our situation a bit too much. We rush things and we push ourselves into things that it's just because of stress, you know. Decisions made out of stress usually fall apart, whatever decisions that may be. So we have to learn how to make decisions, I guess, out of love for ourselves and in being true to who we are and what our heart yearns for within our life. And I believe when we can do that and have that trust and have that faith, we will always be guided in the right direction. You know, I've been doing this for years and I can testify over and over again. And it doesn't hurt to give your faith into something that God, something bigger than you, someone bigger than you. So you can take that extra burden off of you. Like, that's what God's for, you know. To allow your psychological state to relax, to have that faith, not be going into the worst case fear-based scenario. Like, magic and miracles and God exists. Like, it's totally okay to believe in it. You don't have to feel like a total loser for believing in it. It's true. Try it and find out for yourself and then come back to me and tell me. But don't let people peer pressure you out of something that could be so absolutely amazing, and that missing piece of complete and total groundedness and balance within your life, in order to ensure that your psychological state is always great and the decisions that you're making in a relaxed psychological state are not out of stress and fear and rushy energy, which just makes stuff fall apart. You need to learn how to slow down and trust the process, trust where you are, trust God. I know it sounds silly, but it works, you know? Otherwise, if you're relying on yourself, guys, like, you're just going to drain the daylights out of yourself. There's a higher force, there's a higher calling, there's a higher power. And I say explore it. Say some prayers, you know? It may seem stupid, it may seem idiotic, but it may be the key towards everything it is that you happen to be looking for at the same time. But you'll only ever know if you find out and try for yourself, I suppose. So anyway, if you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and then head on over to Patreon and my private blog. Love you guys. Thank you. Bye.